Mr. Horn, could you give us your full name, please?
Franklin George Horn.
Now, where were you born, Mr. Horn?
In Springfield.
August Brand, was he your grandfather?
Yes.
What was his trade or occupation?
He was an apprentice in Germany, and he was primarily engaged at that time and decorated some of the crown heads of Europe's palaces and the railroad cars and things like that. When he came to this country, then he was engaged in carriage business, painting and repairing and building carriages.
Here in Springfield?
Yes.
How far did you get in school?
I went to the ninth grade. Actually, I was instrumental in the teacher changing her method of teaching, because in those days, if you drawed a line of lettering, you drawed so many squares and you put the letter inside of that square. After I became a round sign shop, I found out that she shouldn't make lettering, that is for exterior exposure, or at least not something other than printed. I had quite a long to convince the teacher at school, but finally she accepted my way and started teaching that way.
He worked when he was 14, and we used to have pots that you put your brushes in, soak them overnight, and then in the morning he would clean them. Mm-hmm. And then he'd come after school and lunchtime, early in the morning, and then after that, well, he worked for his uncle, and Depression of 1929 hit, and they had 100 people working. This was on 2nd Street, and this was a building that Joe started in. It was a large building, and we had probably 10 people working. Don's Drive-In was one of our big
Louise's dad, in 1950, the Illinois State Fair was his big thing. That was the biggest moneymaker of the year for him. And in May, we were already starting to work at the Illinois State Fairgrounds on beer fronts. Budweiser, Stag, Pabst, Grizzly Brothers, digging holes and setting posts and all that kind of stuff. And he needed some young arms to dig post holes, and I was it. It was the only sign crane in Springfield at the time. And it was a 50-foot crane, but it was all manually operated. No hydraulics, no batteries. It was all cranked. You see spindles sticking out of the side, and there's a crank down at the lower left corner there. Well, you put a crank on every one of them, and the crank would either extend it, raise the load line, another one would revolve it, or it was all manual. And I'm telling you, when you got done working on that, at the end of the day, your arms felt like they're going to fall off. I sit down and scooted back and forth all day, got splinters and everything, on this wooden scaffold. Sooner or later, we had a tagline that we would hang over the top. You'd hang on a tagline and walk around a little bit to do some painting. Yeah. But I was a tall guy, and I was sitting down, and I was working with a short guy, and he was painting up.